This is Margaret Ann Windsor, and my father's Edward VIII, and I was kidnapped in 1941 at age 2. And my father was married to my mom, Claudia Ruth O'Keefe, from Madison, Wisconsin, and a double married Wallace Simpson, an imposter. And still today, the lie exists that he married Wallace Simpson. The double did, imposter. In fact, there were more than one or two, there were several. And they went out and they did these preposterous things that the Illuminati controlled things back then, but they were attributed to my father, and the Archbishop of Canterbury even got in on this, and Sir Winston Churchill. So I'm not going to go on with the rest because I want to tell something here. Um, Let me go back. I'd started it, and I got a phone call, and I could have put this down, I guess. But here's what someone contacted me. I want to put up here, and I hope they don't mind that I did, because this is my answer to this person that contacted me. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe I shouldn't put this up. Well, anyway, no, I've had so much done to me, and this fake family has done to me and my children, my mom and dad and country, that I want to answer. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. I'm just going to tell you my answer to her question. This person said that she had heard Diana had to have a gynecologist from the USA to do tests to see if she could, I need glasses, so bear with me. I wrote it down here. So she could get pregnant before she married Charles. Rumor has it that the gynecologist was told to dispose of any of the eggs that were left. Sorry, I got that call, and I don't know. So many eruptions in one phone call. It's not funny. My life is. I'm not going to say anything else. I just want to put this up and see what comes of it. If it's true, that the eggs that were removed were supposed to be disposed of. But he didn't. He took them back to America. He fertilized his wife. They had a daughter. She is a few years older than William. Kate and William have met her in America secretly. Now, where was my answer? Because I wrote that down. I haven't lost it. Well, I don't need to. It was my answer to her. Well, yeah, I'd have to go back to where. Okay, so I answered her over the. It's been a while now. I'd say since I heard from this person. It's been probably 5 months. I haven't heard from her since 5, 6, 7 months. And I can't really date it, but it's in this time period. Now, prior to that, I can't remember, over several months, she contacted me prior, I believe I'm correct if I say 4 or 5 times, and she would wait a period of time to hear back from me or whatever. She was writing me and telling me about that she had found out that she was just like this I said, but she didn't mention. I thought that she said she was isolated, and that she had heard that she was Diana's daughter. And now I can't remember the rest of it. She seemed legit. She said, in my mind, because I'd been kidnapped, I didn't know this story, and I don't know that it's true. But I know it very well could be. And the sad part is this would happen to this girl. But to know that they contacted her while they are a fake monarchy and need to be locked up and put away, is beyond me. What my children have gone through, my father and mother, my country, and it affects this country. My mother was born in this country. It's a lie about what they did to my father. He never married Wallace Simpson. I've said that, I think. I got distracted with the phone call and then this, whatever's going on here. But anyway, I responded by saying what I'm going to put up here. I'm responding here. That over this period of time, and I think I can't be sure, but it's probably about, well, she might have contacted me as far back as a year and a half ago. So I guess this timeline would tell you if it's found out that William and Kate did contact her here in the States. Because, well, it's on YouTube. But I mean, I got so many videos up there, it would have to be, because she contacted me on video, this girl did. I got the impression at first, I thought she was in another country, and she sounded very afraid and said she was isolated and that she had learned that she was Diana's daughter. Or thought she was. I'm trying to think back over it. The thing was, I believed her, but I've had so much happen that she came back. She waited a span of time and then she'd come back. So over this time, I think she contacted me maybe 5 times over this period of time. And I think the last time would have been about 6 months ago at least. Maybe a little longer, I can't remember, but somewhere in this last 6-8 months. So that would date it if she wouldn't have contacted me after William and Kate. If this is true, this question asked, well, that would kind of tell her that's the reason she hasn't contacted me anymore. So I don't know if it's true or not that there was a daughter born. I think the part that is so horrific is to know, it is sad that if it did, that it happened. And why don't they tell it? But they are a fake monarchy. They are the biggest criminals. And history doesn't list them that way. They list my father ugly lies, which is totally untrue. He was married to my mom. He made they took him down with character assassination because he would not follow orders from the Illuminati. Now, this girl, I would go back to that. She, in the bits that she didn't tell that much, but she seemed very afraid. And when I did, I may be redundant. I'm trying to go back, and I got interrupted with the phone call. And then, when I went back to the site that the name, well, I went back to she had a guy's name, the best I can remember, but she had anything else. She didn't have any activity or anything. Well, it seemed like she was trying to be careful, so I really did believe her, but then I didn't know, and I got distracted, and I really didn't know whether to contact her back. She wanted my email and how to contact me in secret, so it got lost, whatever the contact was we had. But I wonder if it's true, because these people have squandered. They have done away with, and they have flaunted it actually in front of the British people, the UK, the Aussies. It's high-riding monarchy when it isn't even theirs. When they can take down my father, and they're high up in the Illuminati now, the global government. And that came to be, if you check it out, the timeline. My father was married to my mom. He was king in 36. They took him out. He left, and somebody, well, anyway, they used doubles in it. Anyway, he made way because he meant to come back. He didn't mean to leave. He wouldn't do as they told him. And this involves later that treaties and things that were signed. Oh, I don't know. Maybe they were trying to sign them in. Somebody come back on here and told me, well, the king or the monarch doesn't have power. I don't. That may be true. I guess it is to a degree. But there was something more there that they got rid of my father. He wouldn't do as they asked. And that's when the treaties were signed and they installed Elizabeth's father, and it's illegal as heck. And the whole monarchy, they're traitors and criminals, and they're part of the Illuminati that took down this country they pretend to represent while they high ride around in cars and live a lifestyle that's so affluent. And I don't know anybody else in history, maybe there are, who is so loved that is the biggest criminal that walked the face of this planet, and whose name is still being on all the videos when Meghan Markle married into that family, if Harry's even really Harry. All the videos came back up and all this about my father marrying Wallace Simpson, which was a lie. My mom's just been deleted from history, and I know all this kind of work goes on. My mother had a home in Beverly Hills, excuse me. I was in a campaign and going through hell. I'd written a book about mind control and all this. I was out at Larry Flint's because he'd been shot in Marietta, well, near Marietta, where I was living, Georgia. He'd been shot in Lawrenceville in 78 while I was doing the book. And I was out there during the campaign to replace one of the doctors I had written about, Larry McDonald, Congressman Doctor. And they tried, I was almost killed April Fool Day of 80, and then it gets back to the Watergate tapes and Henry Kissinger from the White House ordering me to be, I'm just going to leave it there, what they were going to do to me. If the Brits didn't cross their palm, or my family didn't cross their palms with, ransom came in different ways. So I'm going to get off here because I've told about myself and about what happened to my mom and dad and all this. I hope it's beyond me how someone can be related, and I hate to say it as far, unless she's Winston Churchill, this gets so bizarre. Daughter, I heard that. She's my cousin. If she's George, he helped kidnap me, helped take down his own brother. They made a movie of it, made a hero out of him. They make her the queen, out to be this great, noble person when she's cream of the crop as traitors. It's not hers. She's had could have told the truth at any point over all these years she knows about my mom. There were a period of time, I was 2 years old when they kidnapped me, and I was kidnapped out of the castle, and it was the nursemaid that helped kidnap me. I can remember being brought there, and I have told all this on here, so I'm going to stop here. I probably need to make this phone call back. I think it's a call I need to get back with. But, I don't know if this is true or not, but they have the power to silence most anyone. Or the Illuminati do. I just wonder, I wonder if it's true, and I wonder if this was the person that reached out to me, and I wonder if she did find a way to contact them. Of course, they probably read my stuff, because Harry, I'm going to go ahead and say this. There's a question, because I do know quite a bit, even though I'm living in poverty and have myself. Right, the moment things are better, but heck, I'm 80 years old, and you can't tell the laws that were broken and the horrific crimes done to me and my kids. Mark and Scott are heirs after me, not William and Kate, not Harry and Meghan, if that's even Harry. There's a whole story about it to that. So I sound like I'm babbling, so I'm just going to get off. It's, I wish, there's the FBI, I'm going to go ahead and say it. They sent me a letter before I started finding out and remembering about my kidnapping. I was doing the book, and I got a letter, 2 letters, really, from the FBI. And the FBI agents down there in Atlanta were pretty decent fellows. There's a portion of the FBI that evidently are the really good guys, like that 12 Days of the Condor with Robert Redford, that movie. Anyway, what was I going to say? I'm about to forget what I was going to say. I got the letter from the FBI. It's on my dad's birthday, June the 23rd, only my dad was born back, and the letter was dated 1979, of course. So anyway, I was almost killed April Fool Day, horrible. I shouldn't have walked away from. But what I'm getting to, all of this that's going on now, the Illuminati controls your press. You've never heard any of this and about the mind control murders I've told about. Larry Flint was one of them that they shot, and there's a question about that. If I met him out there, and I thought he was Larry Flint, and but I was also told that Flint was shot. Well, I know he was shot at a Lawrenceville when I was doing the book, and his insides were all over the sidewalk there. A Magnum would do that. So I could go on, and it gets too much to tell on here, and people get back and forth with me trying to put it together. But, I'll spoil down to this. I wonder if this girl is legit, telling the truth, and if they did meet with her, and what happened. And I would wonder why that they've never mentioned me, because Elizabeth and I, there was 2 years that she was around me. She knew about my mom, the truth about it all. Isn't it strange what money will do? My aim was to repay, if I could, the people that kept me alive, the Brits and the Germans and some Americans. And I hoped that my father's name and my mother's, because they just deleted her. And I started out going back and forth here. My mom, they've got my mom who lived in, Larry Flint lived on St. Cloud in Bel Air when I went out there. My mom had a home in, now I just said it a while ago. I'll be honest with you, last night I'm allergic to chemicals. And I should have lived a normal life, only it's almost like, I used to work for a group of doctors, and one was dermatologists, and they'd do the patches. It's hell. It's not right. It's killing me. I have an autoimmune disorder that I'm allergic to chemicals, toxic fumes. And if I'm around them in a closed place, like a room like I've had to live in like this, if I were lucky, or out in the woods on the Appalachian Trail, at least I had fresh air most of the time. But I feel fine. But you put me around, I shouldn't even tell this, so I'm not going to. It's a lot of people would like to see me disappear. So I'm not going to